What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here with Vegas Al. A little bit under the weather. I'm going to try to get this video through here. I don't know, something the Capper flu must have hit me here. I don't know. We got a lot of action still going on. USC games starting to finalize. Tons of games still going on. So I will let you guys know near the end of the show how I did today. Illinois got it done there for us in the Music City Bowl. 76ers got it done there against the Grizzlies in overtime. It's been an up and down day because I remember Ashton Villa earlier this morning was on the plus 1.5. That didn't come through. Let 4 goals like that up was just ugly. But yeah, ready to get on in today's action here on the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show, where we will give you all of the early line movements, injury updates, etc. Get ahead of this action here on the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show. Let's get on into college basketball here for Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. We got the final day of the year. We're going to get into some college basketball here. Like and subscribe. Every subscription helps, gets us to that 100,000 subscriber goal that we are trying to reach. Thank you guys very much. Start off here with this college basketball game, Wake Forest and NC State. When you look at this one here, seeing NC State, the 9.5-point favorite, total at 158, 160, seen 159 even now. Either way, I'm looking at the over in this one. Both teams averaging well over 80 points per game. NC State 30th in the nation, 88 points per game. Look at the three-point percentage for NC State, almost 40% from three. I think Wake Forest will be forced to have to keep up with NC State. They're going to shoot a ton of threes, a lot more than the 9 per game that they're averaging. Possibly 10 or even 12 or 13 threes will be shot out of Wake Forest. I don't know. NC State at the end of 7-1 at home this year. Still would like the over in this game more than anything. Again, total around 159.5 in this one. All right, on to another game here in college basketball. We got another big-time matchup here, Clemson and Syracuse. This one in Syracuse's backyard here. 141 is the total. Clemson is the 1.5-point favorite, however. And I actually kind of agree with the line. I think when you look at the shooting percentages here for Syracuse, especially free throw line, 365th in the nation, 59% from the free throw line. You look 46% from the floor as well. Just not a team I'm necessarily wanting to consistently back as well, especially turning the ball over as well. Well, at least when you look at Clemson here, a top 5 team as far as protecting the basketball, that's going to be needed here on the road against Syracuse. Syracuse does play chippy defense. We'll hit the boards. I think Clemson, though, is still the better team, able to create their own shot in what I expect to be a chippy defensive type game. Give me Clemson here on the money line. The last meeting between these two teams as well, Clemson won 86-72. Obviously, a little bit different squads this year, but I like Clemson here to get this one done here. All right, we got Virginia Tech and Virginia here in this next one. Another set of teams here scoring around 80 points per game. A little bit slower of a pace, though. Both teams in the 200s as far as ranking and pace. But three-point wise, willing to shoot these threes. Both shooting over 36% from the three. I see no reason why this one doesn't go over the 152.5 here. In this one, couple injuries. Toby Lawal and Tyler Johnson will be out for Vaught Tech. Jakari White, the big-time guard there for Virginia. And Martin Carey for Virginia as well, possibly out, but still think plenty enough pieces supporting-wise. Obviously, Neo here on this Virginia Tech squad. Avadalis here over. That's the only thing I can say here. 152.5. Virginia being a 5.5-point favorite, I think it's about right where it should be. Just like the total here, 152.5. We'll take over in that one. And then I'll be short and sweet here with Georgia Tech and Duke. At the end of the day, you look at Duke here, just a juggernaut this year. Again, 12-1. Not in love with what I've seen so far out of Georgia Tech, who's picked it up as of late. 9-4. Last 10, 6-4. 4-game winning streak, starting to turn things around. I think this is too big of a spot here against a Duke squad who just head and shoulders above them. I don't see where they match up, especially down low. Who's going to handle Boozer? I don't know. To me, it's Duke or pass. I get it's 26 points. I don't know. I'm not looking to step in front of Duke here in this spot. It's Cameron Indoor Arena as well. Tough place to play. Indoor stadium. Give me Duke here in this one. UConn and Xavier. We got Xavier here. 11.5-point dogs. I was initially looking their way. They did beat UConn last year, 86. Again, different type squad for this Xavier team. Not necessarily in love with them either. A U kid. Nice little piece to have. But to me, I think UConn's still head and shoulders above them. I would lay it there with the UConn Huskies. Big-time performance I'm expecting on a ball, solo ball here for UConn. Props. And then North Texas and Memphis here. North Texas at 11.5-point dogs here is where I'm looking. I don't know. I don't want to lay anything like this with Memphis. It's just tough here. Doug McDaniel, not the biggest fan of shooting percentage-wise. You look at the offensive ratings for both of these teams, it's really nothing to go right home about in the bottom 250s. But, North Texas, a top 50 defense in the nation, forcing tough shots. To me, neither team great from three either. Defensive type game. Who protects the ball a little bit better? North Texas does. Give me North Texas to at least keep it within the 11.5 here. And what I expect to be a low-scoring defensive type game. Points will be premium in a basketball game at least. Give me the plus 11 there with North Texas. All right, we got St. Joseph's and St. Louis. You're seeing all those points getting with St. Joseph's. I wanted to go there, believe me, but St. Louis looks to be basically their top 20 statistically across every single offensive statistic. I mean, we're talking three-point percentage, from the floor, overall field goal percentage, points per game, almost 95 points per game. This St. Louis squad, top 25 in pace. Obviously, the big focal point, Avila in the middle. This is a revenge spot for St. Louis. Lost last time out to a St. Joseph's back in February last season, 76-73. I think St. Louis names their score here in this one. They could easily get into the hundreds here against the St. Joseph squad. Again, defensively, you look 140th in the nation in defense. St. Louis 8th in the nation in defensive rating. Give me St. Louis here, minus the 20.5. Zipping right on through this college basketball slate. A couple more games here. Another one to me, never going to touch DePaul. I don't care how many points you're giving us. We're getting 14 now, I'm seeing, with DePaul. It's just always been how it's been with DePaul. They play a little solid non-conference. Second conference play rolls around. They get steamrolled by these Villanovas, even Xaviers and UConns of the world. Short, sweet, and simple with that one. Just to give you guys some numbers here as well. Look at the three-point percentage difference at 32% to a 38%. 56th in the nation to a 212th in the nation. Turnovers, Villanova top 40 in preventing turnovers, protecting the basketball. True shooting percentage in the top 100 in the nation. Can only look Villanova's way. They get this one done here and lay it with these Villanova Wildcats. All right, and then the final game that we're going to get into college basketball-wise, zip right on through it. St. John's, and Georgetown. Not high on Xavier, not high on Georgetown this year. For that reason, I'll be short and sweet with this. We'll go to St. John's here, averaging almost 86 points per game, putting them in the top 60 in the nation, a top 40 team in pace in the nation. You look at Georgetown, 250th in pace. I think they can run Georgetown right out of the gym. Pitino's going to want to get up early and stomp down on this Georgetown unit here. The Hoyas, give me St. John's here. We'll lay the 8.5 as well with St. John's. All right, on to Warriors and Hornets NBA action. Like and subscribe here. Zipping right on through this last day of the year card. We have plenty of action here. Let's get on into it. NBA action. 1 second, get you guys some lines. Warriors and Hornets, I was seeing 7-point favorites here for the Hornets, for the Warriors. Let me see here. 6.5 Warriors are laying. 233.5 is the total. When you look here, some of the stats and injuries. Let me look injury-wise for this Warriors squad. Really just Seth Curry on the Warriors, LJ Cryer, and then Bridges and Konka-Nipel. Still have to worry about the other Kalkbrenner and Miles Bridges, I believe. So I'm not in love with touching the Hornets here, who have struggled against Western Conference teams and also Pacific Division teams. Specifically, I do believe the West is the tougher conference between the two. 4-1 are the Warriors in their last 5. Covered 4 out of the last 5 spreads. Charlotte, again, 0-8 ATS-wise against the Pacific Division. That's the Clippers, the Suns, the Lakers, or the Kings. And obviously this Warriors squad, they're 0-8 ATS-wise, 0-5 ATS-wise in their last 5 games against the West. Again, this Hornets squad, 11-21. Nice, cute little young team, but when they play the upper echelon teams, like I consider the Warriors to still be in that class, I don't mind laying it here with the Warriors minus 6.5 in that one. All right, we got Magic and Pacers, and one that I was thinking about going to the Pacers, right? Catching some points here with them. I just think at the end of the day, still too many question marks here when it comes to them. 3-6 in the last 9 ATS-wise, 9 straight losses over that span. Magic not much better, 3-10 ATS-wise. I just think simply playing still a little bit better this year. Desmond Bane steps up here in this spot. Just injury report-wise as well. Let me get to it. Obi Toppin, McConnell. Bane is now a game-time decision, so that is huge. Read the rest of the injury report 1 second. Little technical difficulties. Because sometimes that makes me want to go check, because this other place I was looking didn't have Bane on the injury report. Yep, Bane's on the injury report with a back injury. Suggs, Isaac, both the Wagners. This one is an ugly injury report game. Almost coin flip type game. Almost thinking about taking the Pacers at this point with the Bane news. Again, keep an eye out on Desmond Bane tomorrow if he's playing. That'll be a big swing of the line moving to me. Plus 4.5 with the Pacers, probably a lean there. Not a game I'm rushing. T-Wolves, Hawks in this one. Get to the injury report here before anything. Just Terrence Shannon Jr. here for the T-Wolves, looking to be out. He'll be out still again until January 11th. Trae Young, and then obviously the centers here for the Hawks are out, relatively healthy for this Hawks unit, who are struggling, to say the least. 9 straight or 7 straight losses here for this Hawks squad. 2-7 as well in their last 9 ATS-wise. But you look at the T-Wolves, they're 0-5 in their last 5 games in Atlanta ATS-wise. injury report still looking kind of healthy for the T-Wolves. I think they could take advantage of this front court that's decimated here in Atlanta. I would look to be laying it. I think the spread now is up to 4.5 with the Timberwolves. I saw it early open up at 3, but I would take the T-Wolves here minus the 4.5 on the road. Sounds dangerous, but I think it's T-Wolves or pass here in this one. And then you got Suns and Cavaliers in this one. Another good game in the next one here. Interesting little matchup here. Dunn, game time decision, and then Grayson Allen and Jalen Green possibly out, or Grayson Allen's game time. Green will be out. Larry Nance, Max Strus, Sam Merrill here for the Cavaliers on the injury report. Cavs or Suns 4 out of the last 5 they won. Looking pretty solid as of late as well. 6-0 cover-wise last 6 games. Cavaliers just 3-7 ATS-wise. But what gets me on the Cavaliers is, needing a little bit of a bounce back in this little spell that they're on. And then 7-2 ATS-wise at home versus Phoenix. Give me the Cavaliers here minus the 5.5 against the Suns, and what I think they'll also have a front court advantage, obviously with Mobley and Allen. I have no problem laying it here with the Cavs, who I think are just actually going to have a little bit of deeper weapons on the outside as well. Give me the Cavs there in that one. Real interesting game we have here as well in Knicks and Spurs. When you look at some of the injuries here in this one, Knicks are going to be with Kolek on the game time decision, who's huge off the bench for them. Landry Shamet, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson all out for the Knicks. Just Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle possibly out now for the Spurs. Tricky game. I think Spurs would need Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell in this one. When you look, 11-2 run are the Knicks. Excuse me, they're on 11-2 straight up run, but 0-7 ATS-wise in their last 7. 2-5 ATS-wise in their last 7 versus San Antonio. Obviously beat them there in the NBA Cup. I get it. And 7-3 are they in their last 10 versus the Spurs, even though they're only 2-5 ATS-wise in the last 7. So they're winning and not covering. And then you look at how they've done in San Antonio. They're 1-10 in the last 11 meetings in San Antonio. But the Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell injuries is huge to me. Those are the two pieces that can get them over the top against the Knicks. I'm actually starting to look the Knicks here if those two guys aren't playing. Keep an eye out on those two. Again, Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle. And then De'Aaron Fox was just banged up the other day, coming back now. Could be a little bit of a banged-up Spurs team. And the Knicks luck out again here and get a nice little matchup again versus the Spurs. Interesting game here in that one. Pelicans and Bulls here in this one. The point spread's about at a pick 'em. Looking here like Josh Giddey will be out. That changes a lot as far as Bulls. And then also Kobe White looking like he will be out. Alvarado still with the suspension. Herbert Jones. When you look at the Pelicans and what they've done historically, 11-4 first off last 15 games ATS-wise. 7-3 ATS-wise last 10 versus Chicago. Bulls 2 straight L's, but wins over Philly, Cleveland, and Atlanta twice here in this last 8-game span, 5-2 ATS-wise. Obviously, we want Giddey and Kobe White in. I think they find ways to keep this one, not even keep this close, possibly even win this one outright in a bounce-back spot. It's tough, though, for me to want to go and say that. We're going to need a big night out of Desomnu, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. Going to have to do some immaculate things because, again, Kobe White, Josh Giddey, 2 leading scorers, are not going to be playing for the Bulls. I feel like the Pelicans actually should probably be favored a little bit more. Very tricky line, one that I'm not rushing to the window to bet, especially with the news now of Josh Giddey and Kobe White. All right, going on to the next one here, we got Nuggets and Raptors. It seems like a lot of teams are banged up right now, especially these Denver Nuggets. Obviously, the news has dropped with Nikola Jokic here out now till probably February, we're seeing with the knee. And then obviously Aaron Gordon, Braun, and Johnson out until the new year. Strother also on the injury list now, game time decision with an illness. For the Raptors side of things, just looking like Jakob Poeltl will be out until the new year. I don't know. To me, panic. Everybody will be wanting to fade the Nuggets. To me, I actually think there's a little bit of value on the Nuggets side. 7.5 points. I get it, no Jokic, but still plenty of pieces with the Jamal Murray, Tim Hardaway, these guys off the bench. We can find something here. 1-6 ATS-wise their last 7 games in Toronto. But Toronto is not necessarily playing the greatest of basketball right now. 2-7 ATS-wise their last 9. You look at how they play against the West. Possibly another team that's, the Eastern Conference, not as good as the West, first off, and then the bottom teams, even though the Raptors aren't necessarily a bottom team in the East. Just look at what they've done against the West. 2-11 ATS last 13 games versus these Western Conference teams. Denver, still one of the best teams in the NBA. I get it. Jokic isn't going to be here for a while, but they're going to have to, backs against the wall, find a way to get it done. I think they can at least cover 6.5 here, looking at the Denver Nuggets here in this one. All right, on to the next one. We're almost through this NBA slate. We got Wizards, Bucks here. Bucks, the 11.5 point favorites or 10-point favorites here in this one. When you look, Bucks here, 4-1 last 5 ATS, almost 16-17 ATS-wise, almost profitable this year. But Washington, 12-18 ATS-wise, losing about 6 units. To me, it would be the Bucks here or pass. Just saw the Suns drop it there to the. Just saw the Wizards drop it there to the Suns as well. I don't know. To me, I would look Bucks here, especially with Giannis back in the fold of things. All right, we got Blazers and OKC. Blazers won this outright earlier this year to give OKC their first loss, 5-2 ATS-wise on the road in their last 7 games. 6-3 ATS-wise in their last 9 games against OKC in Oklahoma City. 17-15 ATS-wise as well for this Trailblazers squad. A lot to like backing the Blazers here with 16 points in your pocket. Give me the Trailblazers here on the road in this one. All right, we got Rangers and Capitals moving right on over into this NHL hockey slate. I'll be short and sweet. Rangers plus 135. 14-9 on the road this year. Just got done beating Washington 7-3 here on the 23rd of December, about a week ago now. I don't mind going right back to the Rangers here, getting plus money as well. And then same thing, not same thing, just based off recent form. VGK 1-5 last 6, not necessarily in love with how they've played at home this year. Predators 4-1 last 5, have done some solid things in the month of December. I have no problem going to a plus 160 here with the Predators in that one. Then I'm looking at the Wild here against the Sharks to go puck line -1.5 around plus 150 if you can find it. 7-3 to the over, and then 7-3 versus San Jose in the last 10 meetings between these two teams. The Wild 8-2 in the last 10 road games. Again, you look at San Jose, 6 out of the last 7 games for them in general have just gone over. 11 goals in the last 2 games with those wins against the Ducks and the Canucks. Can expect this one to get a little bit loose here. Plenty of goals. These goalkeepers will be getting peppered all night long. I just don't think the Sharks can keep up. That's why I don't mind going to a puck line here with the Wild. Macklin Celebrini prop obviously is live here on the Shark side. Matt Boldy, a Kirill Kaprizov for the Wild. Plenty of offense in this one, over 6.5 I would like. And again, Wild on the puck line and with maybe a 5-2, a 6-3 type game. Plenty of offense there in Wild and Sharks. All right, we got the Lightning and the Ducks here. You guys know I like backing those Ducks. 7 out of the last 8. The Lightning have beaten the Ducks here in their last 8 meetings against each other. Ducks also not playing the best of hockey, 1-5 in their last 6. Lightning starting to pick things up, 4-1 in their last 5. I'll believe the price here, -140 with the Lightning in this one. And you guys know I like backing the Ducks. Got to go Lightning there in that one. We got Jets, Red Wings. Jets 6 straight losses. Obviously, Hellebuck's back. It hasn't really changed much. Jets struggling to really get things going. 5 straight losses on the road as well for this Jets squad. Detroit 4-1 in their last 5 games. Playing solid hockey, 5-1 in their last 6 at home. They have struggled historically versus the Jets at home, but that was when the Jets were in clearly a lot better form. Don't mind going to the Red Wings here at the short money line favorite price. Give me the Red Wings there in this one. All right, we got Devils and Blue Jackets in this one. Almost a pick 'em price. Obviously, Blue Jackets, nice 3 straight games they've won here. Still 3-7 in their last 10 meetings versus New Jersey. New Jersey 3 straight losses. Jack Hughes is in the back, is in the fold of things now. I think the Devils get right here against this Blue Jacket squad who's hot right now. Impossible another over here in this one. Plenty of offense. I can see Nico Horschesser as well. Anytime goal. Plenty of offense here in New Jersey and Columbus. All right. On to the next one. We got Sabres and Stars. Sabres obviously on this 9-game winning streak. Really impressive what they've done over this span. And then, the Stars themselves, 6-2 in the last 8 home games. 12 out of the last 16 games they've won outright. 25-7-7, number 2 team in the West here. Exciting matchup, but I'm actually going to go to a Stars puck line here, -1.5 here against the Sabres. I think the winning streak ends here against this elite Stars team. Again, 2-10 are the Sabres in the last 12 meetings here against Dallas. It was a nice little cute winning streak the Sabres got on, but I think it ends here in this one. Give me the Stars here on the puck line. All right. And I do think that's about it. If we got to the Avalanche game, I like the Avalanche here as well versus the Blues. I don't think I have that one in. Yes, but give me the Avalanche here, puck line as well, which that one you're seeing almost -300 for the Avalanche. But anyways, let's get into college football here. We got 5 college football games to get into, and then I'll get you guys right on into end of the show. And all right, let's see what we got here. We got Iowa and Vanderbilt. 1 second here, guys. 1 second. I got some of the wrong games. I just realized, but it's fine. Iowa and Vandy. I like Iowa here with the defense, top 10 unit, almost top 20 unit in almost every defensive statistic. We'll give Pavia fits. Pavia goes out like a chump in this one. I think Gronkowski more than capable of getting this done. Obviously, 15 running touchdowns this year. Don't know if his style translates to the NFL. Don't get me wrong, this Gronkowski kid. But in college football, anything's possible. Kirk Ferentz, still one of the most underrated coaches in the country here. Yes, I like Iowa here getting the 5.5 points and what I expect to be a defensive game as well here in this one. Both teams, Vandy and Iowa, top 20 in the nation against the run. Could be very tough sledding here in this one. Next game here, we got Arizona State and Duke. I'll be quick with this one. A massive quarterback advantage between Darian Mansa And Jeff Sims, Mansa, 30 touchdowns, 5 picks. Jeff Sims, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Obviously, came in relief, middle of the year, more of the dual threat runner, though almost 200 yards he had in one game there, I remember. Just don't think he'll have enough weapons. Again, a Raleek Brown, a Jordan Tyson are opting out for the NFL, so will not be playing in this game. I just think Duke, again, ACC champs, shocked the world. I think they could do it again here, even though they're the 3-point favorite. I think rightly so. Give me these Duke Blue Devils here in this one. All right, Michigan and Texas here in this one. Again, a lot of opt-outs as well here in this one. Michigan, 15 kids opting out. Again, Whittingham is now the head coach at Michigan. Will not be on the sidelines here, at least coaching this one here for these Wolverines. Texas, 6 opt-outs. Michael Taffy, Anthony Hill, those 2 NFL prospects. They're opting out for the draft. And then obviously Quintavious Wesner here, this running back, is hitting the portal. Still think we have a massive quarterback advantage here with Arch Manning. Bryce Underwood, about $1.1 million per touchdown pass this season. A lot of talk about Manning being overrated. Let's point the gun and look right at Bryce Underwood at this point. Just do not want to back him here. Let me down against Ohio State. Plenty of open wide receivers in that game as well. Look to be happy feet-ish as well in the pocket. Don't like the turmoil that they've had to face here in this offseason, or not offseason, but bowl season here. I think Texas, the more focused team with a mission here to prove that they should be in the college football playoff, and got snubbed. Don't mind laying the 7.5 here with the Texas Longhorns in a big-time statement game for Arch Manning going into next season. Get ready to hear all offseason Arch Manning Heisman talks once again. Give me Nebraska and Utah here, zipping right on through this college football slate. To me, I think Nebraska here with this kid TJ Lateef can keep this close, 14.5. Obviously, Whittingham is now left to Michigan. We just covered that last game. Derek Dampierre still wanting to stay and stick around here with Utah. Still think plenty of pieces for him to work with, but 14.5 feels like a little too much here with, again, coaching turmoil, a lot of in and out moving pieces when you still have Matt Rule here preparing for next year and the future still for Nebraska. Just off that advantage alone, I'll take the 14.5 points with the Cornhuskers. All right, on to the final game of the day. College football here, Miami and Ohio State. This one, college football playoff implications. Ohio State laying now 9 points here. I think it's just a bit too many. Julian Sand, the freshman quarterback, not necessarily looking the greatest there against Indiana. You can argue Ohio State really didn't play anybody all year long. One of the easier schedules of the year, and got there against Indiana and kind of exposed. You face the likes of a Ruben Bain up front here for this Miami front four, one of the better ones in the nation. And also Carson Beck, 3 times the experience Julian Sand has now. The senior quarterback Miami has a former UGA player, obviously. Here, Carson Beck has done good things this year. Yes, I know he can be a little inconsistent at times, but I think grabbing 9 points with the Hurricanes in this one, in what is a revenge game. If anybody old enough, I know I was just around getting there, 6 or 7 years old, when that bowl game happened with the pass interference, the phantom pass interference for the national championship. I think Miami gets their get back here. I would not surprise me to see them even a money line. But again, to get 9 points here with the Hurricanes, I can't pass it up. There you guys have it. There is the look ahead show for you guys. Pretty solid day today, actually. Again, link in the description. Check out what we have on the site, Tony'sPicks.com. Thank you guys very much tuning into the show. Best of luck to everybody tomorrow. And you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.